Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for following my tutorials. I started this year and you have been supporting my work. I'm aware that you are writing this upcoming Monday, your Maths Paper 1. There's no way you are going to fail if you were following all the revisions I uploaded on this channel. I uploaded 30 maths question papers so far, and then I'll continue to upload for 2024 candidates to follow. I've been giving you exam tips which are topic based, but today in this video I will give you exam tips to come up with flying colors in your Maths Paper 1 next week. I want your feedback, guys. If you find these tips helpful after writing on Monday, please bring your feedback so that I will prepare you final exam tips for your Maths Paper 2. Number 1 is reading. Express 2046.489 correct to the nearest 10. This is a question on approximation. Make sure that you are ready to answer any question on approximation. They usually ask this question on number 1. So these are units, these are tens, these are hundreds, and then these are thousands. And then here we are having our tenth, we are having our 100th, and then we are having our 1000th. Here they are asking to the nearest 10. So this is your 10. And then you need to look at the next digit, which is 6. If it is greater than or less than 5, we can see that 6 is greater than 5. So we are going to round up so that our answer is going to be 2050. And then on part B, we want to express 2046.489 correct to 2 decimal places. So this is our first decimal place and this is our second. We are going to look at the next, which is 9. It is greater than 5, so we are going to round up. It is going to be 2046.49. And then on part C, I want to express 2046.489 correct to 2 significant figure. This is our first significant figure, and then this is our second. We are going to check at the next to see if it is greater than 5. So 4 is less than 5. We are going to round down so that our answer is going to be 2000. So make sure that you are read on approximation. When they say to the nearest tenth, you touch this 4 and then you look at 8. It is greater than 5, you round up. If they say to the nearest 100th, you touch this 8 and you look at the next, which is 9. It is greater than 5 and then you round up. So I think you are now ready to answer any question on approximation. And then on number 2, it was a question on fractions. Make sure that you are ready to answer any questions on fraction. You're supposed to be able to add fraction, to multiply the fraction, and also to divide the fractions. When adding fractions, we first need to find the lowest common multiple of the denominators. Here our lowest common multiple is 35. We are going to say 5 into 35, it is 7, and then we multiply by 3. We say 7 into 35, it is 5, and we multiply by 1. If we say 7 times 3, we get 21. 21 plus 5, we get 26. So our answer is going to be 26 over 35. You should be able to multiply the fractions. So here, this is how we are going to multiply the fractions. We say 5 into 5, it is 1. 5 into 45, we get 9. 8 into 8, it is 1. 8 into 32, we get 4. 4 times 1 is 4, and then 1 times 9 is 9. So it means that 5 over 8 times 32 over 45 is equals to 4 over 9. Next, we want to do the division of fraction. When dividing fraction, we change the division sign into multiplication sign, and then we invert so that 3 is going to be our numerator and then 1 is going to be our denominator. If we say 3 into 3, it is 1. 3 into 24, we get 6. 5 times 1 is equals to 5. And then 6 times 1 is equals to 6. So our final answer is going to be 5 over 6. Make sure that you are perfect when it comes to solving fractions. You are able to add the fractions, you are able to multiply, and then you are able to divide the fractions. Let us move on to number 3. Giving your answer as a decimal, find the exact value of A, 0.175 minus 0.049. Make sure that you are able to add the decimals and also to subtract the decimals. If you say 5 minus 9, it can't, so we are going to give a 10 here, and then we subtract, we add 1 to 4 so that it is going to be 5. We say 15 minus 9, we obtain 6. 7 minus 5 is equals to 2. 1 minus 0 is equals to 1. So our answer is going to be 0.126. Let us move on to part B. It is requiring us to find the exact value of square root of 0.0144. Make sure that you are ready to find square root of a decimal. So this is how you deal with the decimal. First, you need to write 0.0144 as a decimal fraction. If we are saying as a decimal fraction, we mean that the denominator is going to be to the powers of 10. Here we are having 4 decimal places after comma, so we are going to write 0.0144 is 144 over 10,000. And then after that, we need to insert the square root signs. We insert here, and then we insert here. The square root of 144 is 12. The square root of 10,000 is 100. And then we need to express 12 over 100 as a decimal. It is going to be 0.12. That is going to be our final answer. Make sure that you can multiply decimals. This question is saying 0.06 squared. So it means that we're supposed to say 0.06 times 0.06. If we say 6 times 6, we are going to obtain 36. And then we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places after comma. It means that also on our answer, we are supposed to have 4 decimal places after comma. So we are going to put 0, 0, and put our comma here, so that our final answer is going to be 0.0036. So make sure that you are perfect in decimals. You can add the decimal, you can subtract the decimals, and also you can divide and multiply decimals. Number 4a, expand 2a minus b, 1 plus c. Make sure that you can do the expansion. It is very simple. You need to multiply 2a and 1 plus c, and then you multiply minus b by 1 plus c. 2a times 1, we get 2a. 2a times c, we get 2ac. Minus b times 1, we get minus b. Minus b times c, we get minus bc. In this case, we don't have the like terms, so we are going to leave it as 2a plus 2ac minus b minus bc. So make sure that you can expand the expressions in brackets. Let us move on to part B. There was a question on algebraic fractions. Make sure that you can multiply and also you can divide algebraic fractions. So in order to either multiply or divide, the first step is always to carry out the factorization. So here we are having m squared minus mn. We need to factorize it. It is going to be, we factor out m, and then we are going to remain with m minus n. And then we need to do the factorization also here. N squared minus np, we factor out n, so that we are going to remain with n minus p. When dividing, we change the division sign into multiplication sign, and then we invert, so that this is going to be our numerator, and then m is going to be our denominator. Next step is that we are going to cancel the like terms. This n minus p is going to cancel this n minus p, and also this m is going to cancel this m. Our final answer is going to be m minus n over n. So make sure that you are perfect in expansion and also in division and multiplication of algebraic fractions. Number 5 was a question on sets. It is given that universal set is equals to 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. A is the set of odd numbers and B is the set of prime numbers. We are supposed to list the elements of A. You should be able to know which numbers are named odd numbers, which numbers are named prime numbers, which are examples of even numbers. For example, odd numbers, these are numbers which when we divide by 2, we are going to have a remainder. And then prime numbers, these are numbers with 2 factors only, that is 1 in itself. And then the even numbers are numbers which are exactly divisible by 2. You should be able to know all of that. So here, we want to list the set of odd numbers. We are having 31, 33, 35, 37, and 39. And then on part 2, it is requiring us to find complement of B. So when we are saying complement of B, we mean the elements which are not in B. So first, let us list the elements of B. On this list, the prime numbers that we are having 31 and 37 as our prime numbers. When we are saying prime numbers, we mean the numbers with 2 factors only, that is 1 in itself. We don't have another number that divides exactly into 31 and 37 without leaving a remainder. We have listed the elements that are in B. Now we want to list the elements which are not in B. So we are going to write 30, we have 32, we have 33, we have 35, we have 36, and then 38 and 39. Make sure that you don't leave other numbers. You need to list all the elements in order to find all the marks. Let us move on to part B. We want to find the number of A intersection B prime. So first we need to list the elements which are both in A and B prime. So we are having, can you see this 33 and this 33? So we are going to write 33. Can you see 35 and 35? Can you see 39 and 39? So we are having 33, 35, 39. And if they are saying number of A intersection B prime, we need to count the number of elements. So we are going to write 3 is our answer. So be able to answer any question on sets. Number 6A, state the special type of a triangle which has one line of symmetry. It is known as isosceles triangle. So the one that I've labeled A is known as right-angled triangle. It is the one with 90 degrees. And then the isosceles triangle, it has two sides and two angles which are equal. And then the third one is known as equilateral triangle. It has three lines of symmetry. You should know all of that. And then on part B, it is reading, a polygon has n sides. Two of its exterior angles are 55 and 45 degrees. The remaining n-2 exterior angles are each 20 degrees. We are supposed to calculate the value of n. So you should always know that the formula of calculating exterior angle, sorry, I made a mistake. You should always know that exterior angles, they sum to 360. So here we are talking about exterior angles. So our total is supposed to be 360. We are given that we have 55 degrees plus 45 degrees. And then we also have n-2 times 20. If we sum this, we are supposed to get 360. Always know that exterior angles of any polygon, they sum to 360. So here we want to solve for n in order to find the value of n. If we say 55 plus 45, we get 100. We are going to shift that 100 to this side so that it is going to be subtracted. And we say 20 times n, we get 20n. 20 times -2, we get -40. This is equals to 260. And then we need to shift -40 to this side. It is going to be 20n is equals to 260 plus 40, which is equals to 300. And then we divide both sides by 20 so that our n is going to be, this 0 cancel this 0, 2 into 30 is equals to 15. So our n is equals to 15. Make sure that you are perfect in polygons. You can calculate interior angles, and also you can calculate the questions on exterior angles. Let us move on to number 7. Number 7A, express 9 minutes after midnight as time on the 24-hour clock. So when we are saying 9 minutes after midnight, we mean that we are in the new day. 9 minutes, it is 9 past 12 in the midnight. So we are going to write 0009. So if it is 9 minutes, 9 minutes after 12 o'clock during the day, it is going to be 12:09 hours. But here, this is midnight, so we are going to write 009 hours. And then on part B, it is reading, in 1998, the population of a village was 2.8 times 10 to the power of 2. In 2004, the population was 3.5 times 10 squared. Calculate the percentage increase of the population from 1998 to 2004. So here we are going to take the population of 1998 as 100% before an increase occurred. We now need to apply proportion. If 100% is equals to 2.8 times 10 squared, what about 3.5 times 10 squared? It is going to be more. So in order to find the percentage that is in line with 3.5 times 10 squared, we are going to say 3.5 times 10 squared divided by 2.8 times 10 squared times 100%. Make sure that you can divide the numbers that are in standard form. For example, in this case, we are going to say 3.5 divided by 2.8. If you are dividing decimal, you need to make sure that your denominator is a whole number. So we are going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10, so that we are going to have 35 over 28. So we can reduce this. It is going to be 7 into 35, it is 5. 7 into 28 is 4. So we now have 5 over 4. And then if we are dividing the numbers in standard form, we need to subtract the powers. So we subtract 2 minus 2 and to multiply by 100. If we say 10 times 2 minus 2, we are going to get 10 to the power of 0. 10 to the power of 0 is equals to 1. So it means that we now have 5 over 4 times 100%. And then we say 4 into 4, it is 1. 4 into 100, we get 25. 5 times 25 is equals to 125%. So it means that the percentage that is in line with the 3.5 times 10 squared, it is 125%. So for us to find the percentage increase, we are going to say 125% minus 100%, which is equals to 25%. So it means that the percentage increase was 25%. So make sure that you are perfect in all the questions that are asking percentage increase and percentage decrease. You just need to apply proportion. 100% is what is equivalent before increase or decrease occurred. And then if there was an increase, we are going to add, and then if there was decrease, we are going to subtract. Let us move on to number 8. It was a question on simultaneous equations. So make sure, guys, that you are perfect in simultaneous equations. They are always asked in paper 1, carrying out 3 marks. So here we are given 3x is equals to y, and then 2x plus y is equals to negative 7. So be perfect on how to solve simultaneous equations using the substitution method and also using the elimination method. So here we are given 3x is equals to y. We are going to apply substitution method. So here it is 3x is equals to y. So we write 2x. Instead of writing y, we are going to write 3x. And then we say it is equals to negative 7. If we say 2 plus 3, we are going to get 2 and 3x. This is equals to negative 7. We need to convert 2 and 3 into improper fraction. It is going to be 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7 over 3 x. This is equals to negative 7. And then we are going to multiply both sides. We want to make x the subject of formula. We are going to multiply both sides by 3 over 7. And also here, 3 over 7. So 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 3, 1. 7 into 7, 1, 7 into 7, 1. So we are having x is equals to, this 7 is going to cancel this 7. Minus 1 times 3 is equals to minus 3. So it implies that our x is equals to minus 3. We are going to substitute this x is equals to minus 3 into the second equation or the first equation. Still we are going to obtain the same answer. So we are saying 1/3 x is equals to y. 1/3 times our x, which is equals to minus 3, is equals to y. 3 into 3, 1. 3 into minus 3, we get minus 1. So it means that the value of y is minus 1. Make sure that you are perfect in solving simultaneous equations. You are going to see this question in your final. Let us move on to part B. Given number 9, given that function of x is equals to x minus 1 times x plus 6, and that function of 0 is equals to p, find the value of p. So here we are saying P is equals to, we are going to substitute x by 0. So we write 0 minus 1 times 0 plus 6. 0 minus 1, we get minus 1 times 0 plus 6, which is equals to 6. So it means our P is equals to minus 6. And then on part B, it is given if yk is equals to ax minus bk, make k the subject of the formula. So make sure that we are perfect in subject of formula. This question is frequently examined. So here we are having yk is equals to ax minus bk. We want to make k the subject of formula, and in this case we are given two terms where we are having k, so we need to shift them to be on one side. We are going to shift minus bk to this side so that it is going to be positive bk plus yk is equals to ax. And then after that we need to factorize. We are going to factor out k out, and then we remain with b plus y inside the bracket. This is equals to ax. Now we want to make k the subject of formula. We divide both sides by b plus y. So our final answer is going to be k is equals to ax over b plus y. Let us move on to number 10. It is reading express 3 to the power of 4 plus 3 squared plus 3 as a number in base 3. If you say 3 to the power of 4, we get 81. 3 to the power of 2, we get 9 plus 3. 81 plus 9 is 90, and then 90 plus 3 is 93 base 10. We need to convert this 93 base 10 to a number in base 3. We are going to use the division method. So we say 3 into 93, we get 31, remainder 0. 3 into 31, it is 10, remainder 1. 3 into 10, it is 3, remainder 1. 3 into 3, it is 1, remainder 0. And then 3 into 1, it is 0, remainder 1. So we are going to write our answer coming down, going upwards, so that our answer is going to be 10,110 base 3. And then on B part 1, we are supposed to evaluate 143 base 8 plus 57 base 8, giving our answer in base 8. So make sure, guys, that you are perfect on this. You can add numbers in bases, and also you can subtract. So here it is in base 8. The numbers in base 8 should not exceed 8. The highest number is going to be 7. So in this case, if we say 3 plus 7, we are going to get 10. 10 is greater than 8. So this is how we do it with it. If it is greater than base 8, we are going to say 10 divided by 8. We get 1, remainder 2. So we write the remainder down, and then the answer, we write it up. If we say 1 plus 4, we get 5. 5 plus 5, we get 10. 10 divided by 8, it is 1, remainder 2. And then 1 plus 1, we get 2. So we write 2 because it is less than 8. So our answer is 222 base 8. And then on B part 2, we want to evaluate 4 base 5 minus 2 base 3 plus 1 base 2, giving our answer in base 10. So the first step is to convert all the numbers to base 10. For 4 base 5 to base 10, we need to expand in powers of 5. We are going to say 5 to the power of 0 times 4, and we get 4. And then here we say 3 to the power of 0 times 2, we are going to get 2. And then here it is 2 to the power of 0 times 1, we get 1. So we are supposed to say 4 minus 2 plus 1. If we say 4 plus 1, we get 5. 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. So our final answer is going to be 3 base 10. So make sure that you are perfect. You can convert from n given base to base 10, and then you can convert from base 10 to n given base. Number 11, in the diagram ABCD is a circle. Tangents at C and D meet at E, and ED is produced to F such that ADF is equals to 50 degrees. And ABC is equals to 116 degrees. Calculate ADC. So want to calculate this angle. It is important, guys, when you are answering this question on Monday, you need to understand the angle that is wanted to be calculated. So when they are saying ADC, it means the angle that is between AD and DC. You need to know your circle geometry theorems, and then you need to apply them correctly. For example, in this case, we are having a cyclic quadrilateral. When we are saying a cyclic quadrilateral, we mean a quadrilateral with all its corners touching the circumference. If you are going to have a quadrilateral with other sides which are not touching the circumference, it is not known as cyclic quad. It is just a quadrilateral. So in this case, it is a cyclic quad because all the corners are touching the circumference. So the theorem that we are going to apply here is opposite angles of cyclic quad, they are supplementary, meaning the sum to 180 degrees. So in order to get ADC, we are going to say 180 minus 116. This is equals to 64 degrees. Theorem applied is opposite angles of cyclic quad sums to 180 degrees. Next one to calculate CDE. CDE is this angle. Here we obtained 64. So you should know that angles on a straight line, they sum to 180 degrees. If we say 50 plus 64 plus CDE, we are going to obtain 180 degrees. So in order to find CDE, we are going to say 180 degrees minus 64 plus 50. This is equals to 66 degrees. And then CED. CED is this angle. The theorem that we are going to use is tangent theorem, which states that when two tangents meet at the same point, they are equal in length, so they are going to form an isosceles triangle. This side DE is also equal to this side CE. So isosceles triangle has two sides which are equal and also two angles which are equal. Here we obtained 66 degrees. It also implies that here we are having 66 degrees. So in order to find CED, we are going to say angles in a triangle, they sum to 180 degrees. 180 minus 66 plus 66 is equals to CED. So 180 minus 66 plus 66 is equals to 48 degrees. Make sure that in your final preparations, you are now able to calculate any question on circle geometry. It is quite obvious that you are going to see this question, so make sure that you are perfect in circle geometry. You are able to apply the circle geometry theorems. Let us move on to number 12. The cost of making a telephone call on Tineko is 25 cents per minute. Kuda has P cents and is able to make a call. Solani has Q cents, which is insufficient to make a call. Write down three inequalities in terms of P and or Q other than P is greater than 0 and Q is greater than 0 that satisfy the given conditions. So you're supposed to be able to interpret the inequalities. So here we are saying Kuda has P cents and is able to make a core. So it means the amount that Kuda have is greater than 25 cents. So it means the amount that Kuda has is greater than or equal to 25 cents. We are going to write P is greater than or equal to 25 cents. And then next, Zolan has Q cents, which is insufficient to make a core. So it means that the amount that Zolan has is strictly less than 25. So we are going to write AQ is strictly less than 25. And then finally, we are going to combine these two inequalities into one. We are saying Q is less than 25 at the same time that 25 is less than or equal to P. Let us move on to number 13. AB is a line whose equation is 6y is equals to 7x plus 48. Find the gradient of the line AB. So here we are having 6y is equals to 7x plus 48. We need our equation to be in the form of y is equals to mx plus c, where m is the gradient. So here we are having 6y is equals to 7x plus 48. We need to divide all the terms by 6 so that our equation is going to be in the form y is equals to mx plus c. So now we are having y is equals to 7 over 6 times x plus 6 into 48 is 8. So it means our gradient is 7 over 6. That is what we are going to write as our gradient. And then on part B, the equation of the line parallel to AB, which passes through the point 31, giving your equation in the form AY plus BX plus C is equals to 0. You should always know that parallel lines, they have gradient which is the same. So here we want to find the y-intercept, which is our C. We are going to take this coordinate. This 3 is representing x and this 1 is representing y. We write 1 is equals to, we said their gradient is the same, so we write 7 over 6. And then x, we are going to substitute 3 plus c. We want to find the value of c. We say 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 6, we get 2. We are going to shift this 7 over 2 to this side so that it is going to be 1 minus 7 over 2. 1 minus 7 over 2 is minus 5 over 2. That is going to be our c. So we are going to write y is equals to, our gradient is 7 over 6 x, and then our c is minus 5 over 2. But we are supposed to present this equation in the form ay plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So it means we need to shift all the terms that are at the right side of the equation to the left side. So here we are having y. This was positive, it is going to be negative 7 over 6x. This was negative, it is going to be positive 5 over 2 is equals to 0. We want our equation to be in the form ay plus bx plus c. We are going to multiply all the terms by the lowest common multiple, which is 6. Here we multiply by 6, here we multiply by 6, here we multiply by 6. 6 times y is 6y, and then 6 into 6, it is 1. We are going to have minus 7x, and then 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 6 is 3. 5 times 3, we are going to get 15 is equals to 0. Our final answer is 6y minus 7x plus 15 is equals to 0. We have managed to express it in the form ay plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So make sure that you are perfect in coordinate geometry. You can find the gradient, and also you understand that parallel lines, they have gradient which are equal. Number 14a, given that 4m is equals to 7n, find the ratio m is to n. We are having 4 is equals to 7n. So for us to have the ratio in the form m is to n, we need to divide both sides by 4, so that our answer is going to be m is to 7 over 4n. Number 14b, a holiday trip to South Africa cost 333 rands if the exchange rate was 1 US to 8 rand. Calculate the cost of the trip in US dollars, giving your answer to the nearest cent. It is important, guys, that you are perfect in exchange rates. They usually examine this question. So here it is just the application of proportion. We are going to say $1 is equals to 8 rand. What about these 333 rands? It is going to be more. So we say 333 over 8 times $1. So 8 into 33, we are going to obtain 4, remainder 1. And then 8 into 13, we are going to get 1, remainder 5. And then 8 into 50, we are going to have 6, remainder 2. 8 into 20, we are going to have 2, remainder 4. And then 8 into 40, we are going to have 5. But the question is requiring us to give our answer to the nearest cent. So this is our cent. We look at the next number, which is 2. It is less than 5, so we are going to round down. Our answer is going to be $41.60. Let us move on to number 15. Factorize completely 3x cubed y minus 12xy cubed. So make sure, guys, that you are perfect in factorization. You are going to find the question on factorization in your final. So make sure that you are perfect in factorization. Here we need to factor out the highest common factor, which is 3xy. And then we say 3x cubed y divided by 3xy. We are going to get x squared. 12xy cubed divided by 3xy. We are going to get 4y squared. And then we need to factorize this further because it is a difference between two squares. The square root of x squared is x minus the square root of 4y squared, which is 2y. We open another bracket, we write x plus 2y. This is going to be our final answer. So this is how you obtain all the marks on factorization. Make sure that you can do the factorization. Let us move on to the next question. Number 16, solve the equation. We are given y plus quarter squared is equals to 9 over 16. What we need to do here is we need to remove that square. We are going to multiply both sides by to the power of half. So here we cancel this 2 and this 2. Here we say the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 16 is 4. So when we are saying the square root, it can be positive or it can be negative. So we write plus or minus 3/4. And then we need to shift this positive quarter to be at this side. It is going to be negative 1 over 4. So we now have our y either as minus quarter plus 3/4, which is equals to 2/4, and we reduce it for it to be half. Or we are going to say minus quarter minus 3/4, which is equals to minus 1. So our y is either half or minus 1. So make sure that you are perfect when it comes to solving the equations. For example, in this case, the first step is to remove that squared, so that we are going to have square root on both sides. And when you are talking about square root, it can be positive or it can be negative. So we are going to shift that quarter. It is going to be minus quarter. We say minus quarter plus or minus 3/4 for us to get our y as half or minus 1. On number 17a, we want to simplify 32x to the power of 10 to the power of 1/5. So the first step is to find the fifth root of 32, which is equals to 2. Because if we say 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we are going to get 32. And then on x to the power of 10 times 1 to the power of 1/5, we are going to apply the bracket law of indices. So it means that we are going to multiply 10 times 1/5 in order to get 2. Our final answer is going to be 2x squared. So here we are given 2 to the power of negative 2 times 2 to the power of c over 2 to the power of 4 is equals to 2 to the power of 3. We want to make c the subject of formula. So first we are going to combine this expression into 1. We are having our same base, which is 2. When we are multiplying, we add the powers. So we are going to say minus 2 plus c. And then if we are dividing, we subtract the powers. We are going to say minus 4. This is equals to 2 to the power of 3. Now that our bases are the same, we can now equate the powers. We say minus 2 minus 4, we get minus 6 plus c is equals to 3. Want to make c the subject of formula, we shift this minus 6 to this side. It is going to be positive 6, so that our c is going to be 9. Number 18 was a question on matrix. It is given that P, which is equals to 2, 1, 1, 1, and Q, which is equals to 2P minus identity, where I is identity matrix. Find P inverse. So when we are saying P inverse, well, we want to find the inverse of P. First, we need to find the determinant. In order to find the determinant, we say 2 times 1 minus 1 times 1. So it implies that our determinant is equals to 1. And then to find inverse, we say 1 over determinant. 2 and 1, they are going to interchange their positions, so that 1 is going to be here and 2 is going to be here. And then 1 and 1, they are going to change their signs. Here we are having positive 1. On our inverse, it is going to be negative 1. And here negative 1. So it means that the inverse of P is 1 minus 1 minus 1, 2. In the next one, to find the matrix Q, we are given that 2P minus identity. We are saying 2 times P, which is 2, 1, 1, 1, minus identity. An identity matrix is 1, 0, 0, 1. This is known as identity matrix. So we say 2 times 2, we get 4. 2 times 1, we get 2. 2 times 1, 2, 2. And then we subtract 1, 0, 0, 1. 4 minus 1 is equals to 3. 2 minus 0 is equals to 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So our final answer is going to be 3, 2, 2, 1. So make sure that you are perfect in adding matrix and also in multiplying the matrix, and also to find the inverse of matrix. Let us move on to number 19. Number 19, in the diagram OA, B, C, D is a hexagon. Express as column vectors O, E. So want to move from O to E. To move from O to E, we are going to move 2 steps in the X direction and then 1 step in the Y direction. So our column vector is going to be +2 and +1. And then for OA plus AD, first we want to calculate OA. To move from O to this point, we are moving 2 steps in the negative direction. So we are going to write our OA is -2, and then we move 1 step upwards. So we have -2, 1, and then for AD, we want to move from A to D. In the x-axis, we are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are moving in the positive direction, so we are going to write +5, and then we move 2 steps upwards to D, so that we are going to have +2, and then we need to add -2 plus 5 is equals to +3. 1 plus 2 is equals to +3. So our answer is going to be 3, 3. And then on part B, describe fully the single transformation which maps side BC onto side OE. Can we see that BC and OE, they are facing same direction? So we are going to describe that it is translation. You get your first mark by stating that translation is okayed. And then when describing translation, it is important to talk about the translation vector. In order to find translation vector, we say image minus object. So our image is the transformed one, which is OE. So we are going to take n of the coordinates which are corresponding. We are having this and this, these are corresponding, and also we are having E and C, they are corresponding. So let's say we take this O and B. For O, we are having 0, 0. And then from object, we are having this 0 in this +4. 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. So it means that our translation vector is 0 minus 4. We didn't change our X coordinates. What changed was the Y coordinates. We just moved 4 steps downwards. We moved 1, 2, 3, 4, and even here, if we are relating to C and E, we moved 4 steps downwards, which are 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure that you can answer all the questions that are examined in Maths Paper 1 concerning vectors and transformation. Number 20 was a question on simple map problems. All the length on map are 1:500 of the actual length. Calculate the actual length of line represented on the map by a line 7.3 centimeters. So our scale here is the same as writing 1:500. So we mean that 1 centimeter is representing actual length of 500 centimeters. We are going to say if 1 centimeter is representing 500 centimeters, what about 7.3 centimeters? It is going to be more. So we write 7.3 over 1 times 500 centimeters. We are going to obtain 3,650 centimeters. And then we need to convert this centimeters into meters. We divide by 100 so that we are going to have 36.5 meters as our actual length. And then on part B, want to find the area on the map which represents an actual area of 525 square meters, giving our answer in square centimeters. So here we need to write the scale of length. It is 1:5 meters. If we convert 500 centimeters into meters, we are going to have 5 meters. And then this is the scale of length. For the scale of area, we are going to square scale of length, so that here we have 1 centimeter squared, and then 5 meters squared, it is going to be 25 square meters. So we mean 1 square centimeter is representing 25 square meters. So if 1 is representing 25, what about 525? It is going to be more. So we write 525 over 25 times 1 square centimeter. 25 into 25, it is 1. 25 into 525, we are going to get 21. So our answer is going to be 21 square centimeters. So make sure that you are perfect in simple math problems. Number 21, we are supposed to evaluate log base 5 of 64 divided by log base 5 of 4. So here, we need to write 4 to the powers, 64 to the power of 4. It is going to be 4 to the power of 3, and then 4 is 4 to the power of 1. So we write log base 5, 4 to the power of 1. And then the next step is to apply the power rule of logarithm. We are going to multiply the log by power, so that we write 3 log base 5 of 4 is equals over 1 log base 5 of 4. And then this is going to cancel this. If we say 3 divided by 1, we get 3. So our final answer is going to be 3. And then 1 plus log base 3 of 9. Here, in order to remove this log, we need to raise 3 to the power of 2. So we are going to say log base 3 of 9 is equals to 2. 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. That is going to be our final answer. This was the complete solution for number 21. On logs, make sure that you can calculate in question on logs. Sometimes they are going to give you certain value, and then you are supposed to find other logs using the given logs. You're supposed to be able to work out those logs. Let us move on to number 22. In the answer space below is a line segment AB, which is 7 centimeters long. Using ruler and compasses only, construct the locus of points 3 centimeters from B. So sometimes we are going to have the question on construction in Maths paper 1. Make sure that you can answer all those questions. And here we want to construct locus of points 3 centimeters from B. If they are saying 3 centimeters from a given point, we are going to come up with a circle. So the first step is we need to open our compass to be 3 centimeters. So this is our 3 centimeters. We have opened our compass to be 3 centimeters. Next, we are going to construct a circle. After constructing a circle, we are going to write that this is 3 centimeters from B. We label 3 centimeters from B to the circumference. And then on a part 2, we want to construct the locus of points which are above AB, which are 2 centimeters from line AB. So this question is requiring us to construct parallel lines, but in this case, we are just going to construct parallel line that is above AB, not below. First step is to open our compass to be 2 centimeters like this. So from the line AB, I'm going to construct an arc, and then I move to this point, which is still on AB. I construct another arc. And then after that, I need to draw a tangent that is going to join these 2 arcs. So this is the tangent that is joining the 2 arcs. So this is representing locus of points that are above AB, which are 2 centimeters from AB. So I'm going to label 2 centimeters here. And then after that, on B part 1, we want to mark and label P1 and P2, the points which are 3 centimeters from B and 2 centimeters from line AB. We are going to label this as our P1 and also this is our P2. This P1 is 3 centimeters from B and also 2 centimeters from AB, and also this P2 is 3 centimeters from B and 2 centimeters from AB. I can show you from B to P we are having these 3 centimeters, and then from B to P2 we are having 3 centimeters again, and then from P1 to AB we are having these 2 centimeters. So these are the points which we are required to label. And then on B part 2, we are supposed to measure the distance P1 and P2. So we want to measure this distance. The distance is 4.7 centimeters. Let us move on to number 23. Number 23 was a question on bearing. It is reading, in the diagram, P and Q are points on level ground. The bearing of P from Q is 237 degrees. Find the bearing of Q from P. So you should understand that bearing is measured from north. Here we are saying the bearing of P from Q is 237 because we are measuring from this point to this point. Now we want to find the bearing of Q from P, so it means that we want to measure this angle. So we are going to say from this point to this point it is 108. We subtract 237 minus 18 in order to get 57. So here it is 57, and these are parallel lines. Parallel lines form Z angles which are equal. Here we are having 57. It also implies that here it is going to be 57. So the bearing of Q from P is 57. And you should know that bearing is written in 3 figures. So we write 057 degrees. And then on part B, it was a question on perimeter. The diagram shows 2 semicircles, APM and AQB. AM is equals to MB, which is equals to 3.5 centimeters. Taking pi to be 22/7, calculate the perimeter of the shaded region. So when we are saying perimeter, we mean the distance around the shaded region. So we want to find the length of this arc, the length of this arc, and also we add this 3.5 centimeters. So first let us find the length of arc AQB. Formula of finding the perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r. This is a semicircle, so we say half times 2 pi r. Half times 2 times our pi is 22/7, and then our radius is going to be 3.5. 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 2, 1. 7 into 3.5, we get 0.5. And then 22 times 0.5, we get 11 centimeters. We need to find the length of arc APM. We say half times 2 times 22/7. For our APM, this is the total diameter. The radius is going to be 3.5 times 3.5/2. So we say 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 22, we get 11. And then 11 times 3.5, we are going to obtain 5.5 centimeters. And then finally, to find the total perimeter, we are going to say total perimeter is equals to 11 plus 5.5 plus this 3.5, so that our answer is going to be 20 centimeters. Number 24 was a question on statistics. It is reading the age of pupils in a class of 30 are shown in the table. 2 pupils are chosen at random from the class. Find the probability that one is aged 11 years and the other is aged 14. So the probability of getting one who is aged 11, we are going to say it is 3 out of total, which is 30. And then the probability of getting the one that is aged 14, it is 6 out of 30. So we need to multiply 3 over 30 times 6 over 30. 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 30, it is 10. 6 into 6, 1, 6 into 30, 5. 1 times 1, we get 1. 10 times 5, we get 50. So our answer is going to be 1 over 50. And then next, we want to calculate the mean age of the pupils. We are going to say 11 times 3 plus 12 times 10 plus 13 times 8 plus 14 times 6 plus 15 times 3 all over 30. Here the total is 386 over 30. 30 into 386, we are going to get 12 remainder 13 over 15. So that is going to be the mean age of the pupils. So in statistics, make sure that you can calculate the mean, the mode, the median, and also the range. Number 25 was a question on similarity. It is reading in the diagram, PQ is parallel to RS, PS and QR intersect at X. It is given that PX is equals to 2 centimeters and SX is equals to 3 centimeters. QX is equals to Y plus 2 and RX is equals to 2Y minus 1. Name the triangle which is similar to triangle PQX. So here we are having our P. These are parallel lines, they form Z angles which are equal. This angle is also equal to this angle. So we are going to write PQX is similar. And then this Q is the same as this R. So we write R here. And this X is the equal. So the triangle that is similar to PQX is SRX. And then in part B, using your results in A, find the value of Y. PQX is similar to SRX. It also implies that PQ is similar to SR. QX is also similar to RX. And then PX is similar to SX. So we are going to use sides which are given both sides. For example, here we are given PX and SX. So we are going to use these sides in order to find the scale factor. We are saying PX is similar to SX. 2 is similar to 3. We want to find QR. So we need to find the scale factor first. We are saying 2 is similar to 3. We need to multiply by a certain scale factor in order to reduce the bigger triangle into the smaller triangle. So to make scale factor the subject of formula, we divide both sides by 3 so that our scale factor is going to be 2/3. We are now saying this QX is similar to RX. Our QX, we are having Y plus 2. And then our other x, we are having 2y minus 1. We are going to multiply by the scale factor, which is 2/3. So here we multiply by 3 and also here by 3. 3 into 3, it is 1. So 3 times y, we get 3y. 3 times 2, we get 6. 2 times 2y is 4y minus 2. We want to make y the subject of formula. So we are going to shift this 3y to this side so that we have 6. This is going to be positive 2. And then this is going to be minus 3y. 8 is equals to y. So the value of y is equals to 8. Next, we want to write down the length of QR. QR is y plus 2 plus 2y minus 1. So we write QR is equals to y plus 2 plus 2y minus 1. We are having 8 as our y. So we write 8 plus 2 plus 2y minus 1, which is 2 times 8 minus 1. 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. And then 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. 10 plus 15, we are getting 25. So it implies that QR is equals to 25 centimeters. So that was all about similarity. Make sure that you can attempt all the questions in similarity. Number 26, it was a question on kinematics. I've worked out this question on the tutorial that I uploaded on traveling graphs. So I'll just repeat it. First, we are supposed to calculate the velocity of the object when t is equals to 0. We are given that velocity is supposed to be given by v is equals to 6 plus 2t. So in this case, our t is 0. So we are going to say v is equals to 6 plus 2 times 0. So we are going to get our v is 6 meters per second. Make sure that you don't leave the units. And then on part B, we want to find the deceleration of the object. This is where we are having the deceleration. In order to find deceleration, we need to have this value of v. So we need to formulate it. It is saying v is equals to 6 plus 2t. And here our t is 10 seconds. So we write 6 plus 2 times 10, which is equals to 26 meters per second. Now we want to find deceleration. The formula is deceleration is final velocity, which is 0, minus initial velocity, which is 26, divided by the time taken. We say 22 minus 10, which is equals to 12. 0 minus 26, we get minus 26. And then we divide by 12. 2 into 26 is 13. 2 into 12 is 6. And then we're saying 6 into 13, we are going to get 2 remainder 1 over 6. So our answer is going to be 2 and 1 over 6 meters per second squared. And then on part C, we want to calculate the distance covered by the object in the 22 seconds. You should know that distance in velocity time graph is equal to area under the graph. Here we are having this as our A and this is our B. This is a trapezium, this is a triangle. Area of trapezium is half A plus B times height. So our first length, we are going to take this 26, and then our second length, we are going to take this 6. For our height, we say 10 minus 0, which is equals to 10. So 2 into 10 is 5. 26 plus 6 is equals to 32. 32 times 5 is equals to 160. Next, we are having this triangle. area of triangle is half base times height. Our base is 22 minus 10, which is equals to 12, and our height is 26. 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 26 is 13. 13 times 12 is equals to 156 meters. And then to find total distance, we are going to say 160 plus 156, which is equals to 316 meters. And then on part G, the average speed of the object for the whole journey. Speed is distance over time. Distance we obtained 316 meters, and then the time is 22. 2 into 22 we get 11. 2 into 3 it is 1, remainder 1. 2 into 11 it is 5, remainder 1. 2 into 16 is 8. And then 11 into 150, 11 into 15 it is 1, remainder 4. And then 11 into 48 it is 4 for 44, remainder 4 over 11. So our answer is going to be 14 and 4 over 11 meters per second. So make sure that you are perfect in kinematics. You can find the velocity, the deceleration, distance covered, and also you can calculate the average speed for the whole journey. Finally, we are going to look at trigs. The question on trigs was on number 27. It is reading, in the diagram, ABC is a triangle in which AB is equals to x centimeters and AC is equals to 2x centimeters. BC is equals to 14 centimeters and BAC is equals to 120 degrees. Using as much of the information given below as is necessary, calculate the value of x, leaving your answer in said form. So here we are going to apply the cosine rule of finding sides. We say for us to get 14, first we need to place small letters on our diagram. They are placed opposite of the capital letter. Here we are going to have our A, our B, and then our C. So to find A, we say A squared is equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. So our A, we are having 14, we square it. And then our B, we are having 2x and we square it. And then our C, we are having x and we square it, minus 2. So minus 2 times B, which is 2x, times C, which is x, cos A, which is cos 120. So you should know that cos obtuse is equals to negative cos acute. So here we are given cos 60, which is 0.5. So it means that cos 120 is equals to negative 0.5. So we are going to substitute that negative 0.5 here. So we write 14 squared is equals to 2x squared is 4x squared plus x squared minus, if you say 2x times x, we get 2x squared times this 2, we are going to get 4x squared, and then negative times negative is going to be positive. If we multiply by 0.5, it is going to be plus 2x squared. So we now have 14 squared is equals to 4 plus 1, 5 plus 2, 7. We have 7x squared. And then we divide both sides by 7. 14 squared divided by 7 is equals to 28. 28 is equals to x squared. We want to make x the subject of formula, so we are going to multiply both sides by to the power of half. So our x is going to be the square root of 28, which is equals to, if we simplify root of 28, it is root 4 times root 7, which is equals to 2 root 7. This is going to be our x. And then on B, we want to find the area of triangle ABC. In order to find area, we say area of triangle is equals to half AB sine theta. So this is our, we are going to take these sides. For our x, we are going to say our x is 2 root 7. And then our B, we are going to say it is 2 times root 7. And then you should know that sine acute is sine obtuse. Sine 120 is equals to sine 160. Sine 60. So sine 120, sine 60 we are given 0.87. So that is the one we are going to use. We say 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 2, 1. We now have 2 times root of 7 times root of 7 times 0.87. Then if we multiply root 7 times root 7, we are going to get 7. So it is 2 times 7 times 0.87. Let me repeat again. Area of triangle is half AB sine theta. So this is our first length we are going to take, which is x, and our x is 2 root 7. And then here we are having 2x, so it is 2 root 7 times 2. I've left out this times 2. So this 2 is going to cancel this 2. If we say 2 times 2, we are going to get 4. And then root 7 times root 7 is 7. So we need to say 4 times 7 times 0.87. We are obtaining our answer is 24.36 square centimeters. This marks the end of our revision today. Thank you so much, guys, for following me on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. All the best in your finals. Love you. This is Eve signing out.